Interlude 1. Thinking back on it, I realized that Kanai and I had been friends for more than 10 years now. I couldn't remember when our first interaction was, exactly. I guess our friendship had a lot to do with the fact that my last name, Hoshina, came right after his, Hunami, alphabetically. So we'd often get grouped together and placed next to each other on the class seating chart. So naturally, we grew more comfortable talking to one another over time. It also probably helped that since there were so few kids in our school, we pretty much stayed together with the exact same class all throughout elementary school and junior high. I always loved hearing what Kanai had to say, because he lived in Tokyo before he moved to Sodashima. He knew all sorts of things I didn't, and would tell these crazy stories that always sound unbelievable to younger me. Like about how everyone in the city power walks everywhere all the time. I'm sorry. That power walk emote is so goofy. That's every time I hear the word power walk or read it, I just imagine that walking emote from 7TV. Yeah, that emote. It looks so goofy. Or the power walking competitions. Because the power walking competitions are just people who can barely, or how far can you cheat by half-heartedly running before it counts as, cheating? I don't know. Or how in Tokyo, there's a mini-mart on every street corner. I was spellbound. Whenever he talked about it, hang on his every word, never wanting to miss even a single unimportant detail. Still, my initial impression of him was that he was some regular, smart kid who also happened to be a very good storyteller. It wasn't until 2nd grade that my perception of him began to change. At the time, I was kind of an introverted kid and a grumpy pessimist, to boot. I haven't really changed on either front, mind you, but back then I had virtually no social skills to speak of, which was probably why things ended up playing out the way they did. It was lunchtime, and I'd finished eating my food. I was flipping to the correct page of my school book when one of the boys in class came up to me and shoved his finger right in my face. I could still remember his exact words. Just like they want with my voice, yeah. That's how I used to talk back then. Now I try to cuss y'all out whenever I can. MC. Haha, classic. Hey you, how come your skin looks so dirty all the time? I couldn't say a single word. My biggest insecurity back then was my naturally darker skin, and how I didn't like the other girls. Didn't look like the other girls. I sat there unable to try to think of a comeback. I must have been in shock, to be completely honest. The boy noticed this, which only emboldened him further, so he proceeded to deal the finishing blow. I mean, when was the last time you took a bath? Never? I felt my face go red hot. To make matters worse, the boy said it in a loud enough voice that it echoed through the classroom, and now everyone around was looking straight at me. I could hear snickering coming from various directions, broken up by whispers like, "Ew, gross," and "Dare to go sniff her." Excuse me. I did remember hearing one girl telling people to knock it off, but the majority of kids had already made their choice to take shots at me. Meanwhile, I was so frustrated and mortified that all I could do was sit there, biting my lip and looking down at my feet. No matter how hard I tried to stay strong, I couldn't block out their cruel words, and eventually tears began to well up in my eyes. Right as the dam was about to burst, I felt someone grab my... God dang it. Brusquely? Grab me brusquely by the arms? I butchered that. When we last time took a bath? Actually, you're right. I only take showers now, so for like a bajillion years. "Come on, let's go," they said. I was in disbelief. It was Kanai. At that time, I never would have expected him to jump to my defense like that. 8 out of 10. Okay, phew. I said, "Come on," he implored again. There was a hint of anger in his face and voice that made me quick to obey. He dragged me out of the classroom the second I was on my feet, and paid no mind to the jeers from our fellow classmates as he pulled me down the hall at a brisk pace. I could still remember the feeling of his hand gripping my wrists as he led me down the outdoor staircase, firm to the point of being painful. It wasn't until we reached the landing that we came to a stop, and he finally let go of my arm. I thought you implied you never showered. Okay, I can't hear them following us anymore, he said, matter-of-factly. I mean, yeah, it's something different here. Like you're bathing in something, or a shower of something. The very next instant, I gave in and broke down, and all the tears I'd been holding back came cascading down my cheeks like a waterfall. Every time I read the word cheeks, my mind gets corrupted. Anyways, Kanai was visibly confused and panicked by this, stumbling over his words as he tried to ask me why I was crying. Between sniffles and sobs, I told him exactly how I felt. I hate my stupid body. I hate it. Come on. Who cares what those idiots say? They're trying to mess with you, that's all. What? Okay. So, cheeks? Very rarely people, say the word cheeks. Like, the cheeks under your eyes, or to the sides of your mouth, like cheeks. Like, 10 times more often when I hear cheeks, it's butt cheeks and booty cheeks, okay? Turn the other cheek. I never hear that anymore. What do you call when you only wash your body and not your head? I don't even know. I didn't even know that was a thing. But now everyone thinks I'm gross, and I stink. Trust me, you're not gross, and you definitely don't stink. You're just saying that. Don't lie, I said, raising my voice so high that Kanai recoiled a bit. He didn't even let that deter him, though. He shook his head and tried to reassure me. I'm not lying. Yes, you are. You probably think my skin's dirty too, don't you? You think I'm some nasty girl who doesn't know how to take a bath. Okay, each for your sec. With that, I plopped myself down on the ground with my head between my knees, covering my face with both hands. As the tears came streaming out, an intense wave of regret washed over me. I was rational enough, even then, to tell Kanai I wasn't lying, and yet I still lashed out at him. And why? Because I couldn't fathom why he was being so nice to a misfit like me. That confusion meant I couldn't accept his kindness as genuine. The more I thought about it, the more guilty I felt. I should never have taken my anger out on the one person who went out of his way to rescue me from that situation. No matter my logic. So I cried, and I cried, until I could cry no more. And the guilt gave way to self-loathing. But then, when I lifted my head again, I saw that Kanai was still standing there in front of me. His gaze met mine. I could see the genuine concern for me in his eyes. Misfit having darker skin? I wonder if that's the case in Japan. Because I know for like China, like beauty standards and everything, like having lighter skin means you're like, you're richer, you're more wealthy, you look better. No idea. Are you okay, Akane? Yeah. Look, I'm not good at this stuff, but cheer up, okay? Okay. Is that looks related? Oh, really? For me, I just thought Misfit is just someone that doesn't fit in. Both, behavior related and looks related. I guess it's usually behavior related, huh? All I could muster were one word. Non-committal responses. Bot? Yeah, there was a bot apparently. Kanai clearly was not satisfied with this, because he continued to stutter and fumble his words as he tried desperately, a bit in vain, to make me feel better. Eventually, after a moment of silence, his face lit up as though he'd hit on a brilliant idea. H? Wait, did I miss that? An H with an accent on it? No way, right? Show us your milk? Wait, that sounds weird. You're crazy. Oh, that's what the bot said? I actually can't see deleted messages for some reason. What kind of milk is that? 2%? Just now I saw a kid walking towards a moving vehicle and I just watched. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're not entitled. It's not like you have to jump in and save them. But if you literally watched them and said, and smoked a cigar and shook your head saying, classic, then yeah, you're messed up in the head, but the cup is so cute. Oh, he has it's like a panda bee kind of cup. Okay, if I tilt it a little, you can kind of see the panda there. He answered with mathematics. What's 2% mean? I don't actually know what 2% means. Does anyone know what 2% means for fat percentage? Okay, there we go. Because whole milk means like, that's 10%, right? Is whole milk 10%? Y'all are about to tell me whole milk's 100%, which makes sense, but... Oh, I saw it was a reflection? There's no way. I'm pretty sure that was the microphone. A reflection. Hey, I checked. Honestly? I mean, if y'all saw my reflection, I mean, whatever. I do look like a dingus, though. I look like a typical nerd. Alright, where were we? Eventually, after a moment's silence, his face lit up as though he hit on a brilliant idea. What kind of hairstyle do you have? I don't even know what this is. It's horrible, though. And it's just, yep, basically. Manga MC or manga MC? Neither. I guess probably manga MC because they're more beta-ish. I don't know a better word. I don't know. I don't know how to describe my hair. You know, Sakamoto-san desu ka? That manga or anime? I forgot what the English translation is. It's kind of like that. But without his muscles. And skinny as heck. Oh yeah, haven't you heard? Yeah, that's what it is. Hey Akari, give me your hand for a sec, he said, confidently. Huh? I had no idea what he had in mind, but I held out my right hand regardless as instructed. Fat dude? Was he ever thick? Or am I thinking about the wrong anime or manga? I'm just talking about the main character, Sakamoto. He proceeded to grab it, and after a hesitant pause, crammed my fingers straight into his mouth. Who? Different Sakamoto? I don't know which one that is. The dude who is an assassin? I don't know what that is. Oh, you're talking about... I forgot what it's called. They're talking about a hitman... A convenience store hitman dude. No, it's the one that has... As in like high school setting and... Does silly stuff and saves everything. or not saves everything, to look, he ends up looking cool effortlessly in more absurd ways. More and more absurd ways. Like 1v1ing a bee or wasp or something, I don't even know. Eek, I gasped, yeeking. What the heck is yeeking? Yanking my hand back in surprise. At first, I was utterly dumbfounded as to why on earth Kanai would ever do such a thing. No. Not at first. I still think that's dumb and absurd. But then he looked me straight in the eye to say something that would stay with me for the rest of my life. Role models for real? Which one? The high school Sakamoto one? I don't know. I don't know about role model, but I don't think I'll ever be able to achieve that, but it's really funny. See? You're not the high school one, I see. See? You're not dirty at all. He proclaimed with confidence. Then, in a slightly more bashful tone, he added, I mean, I sure couldn't taste any dirt at least. He's unhinged, holy heck. From thighs to this. It's good to strive for? Yeah, just being unbothered. And cool, I mean... Yeah. I mean, there's no way I would act the same way during that one scene where they were locked and there was a fire. There's no way I would tell them to dance around it. Or I would start dancing around it and convince them to dance around it too. That was so dumb. My jaw dropped. There was a long pause, and then I started laughing hysterically. Kanai looked down at me like I was a crazy person, but I couldn't help myself. I mean, I'd heard people describe things like linoleum, floors as so clean you could eat off of them. But to actually put someone else's hands in your mouth just to prove it wasn't dirty? It was so absurd. I couldn't take it. Okay, I would be creeped out. I would not be laughing. Wander, put your tongue back in. I laughed so hard that tears were coming out of my eyes again. So hard that my stomach started to hurt. And I completely forgot why I felt sad in the first place. The next thing I knew, I was in love. Was he a high school dude? The one we were talking about, yeah? Oh, nice illustration. Chapter 2. April 5th, 6 p.m. You're staring for Sovel. When I snapped back to my senses, the first thing that registered in my brain was the somber melody of the 6 o'clock chime flowing into my eardrum. Eardrums. Then, as soon as the long, hanging final note of green sleeves fell silent, all the turmoil and confusion came rushing back into my mind like a shot of adrenaline. Snap back to... I thought of the same thing. What the hell just happened to me? I never passed out before in my life, but these symptoms sure seemed to fit the bill. All my thought processes came to an abrupt halt without a hint of prior warning. And then the next thing I knew, I was someplace completely different, scrambling to figure out how I got there. To be more specific, I was no longer standing beneath the big cherry blossom tree at the abandoned park. I was down by the coast again, sitting on the seawall with my back to the ocean. Right in front of me stood the island's resident patrol officer, holding his bike at his side as he looked down at me with concern. Hey, you alright, kid? He inquired. Come on, say something. I hope there goes gravity. Officer? I mumbled drowsily. Yeah, I'm still here, pal. Didn't go anywhere, he joked. That with an awkward laugh that said he was so confused as I was. Not that there was anything strange about him stopping to talk to me, of course. I was still floundering to figure out how I got here and how long he'd been staying here in front of me. Wait, I forgot. So this is April 5th, 6 p.m. and okay, they went 4 days in the future. So, is there something I can help you with? I ask, trying to be nonchalant. What do you mean? Thought we were making small talk. We were? For how long? You sure you're alright, kid? We've been chatting it up for like the past 5 minutes. Did you have a stroke or something? 5 minutes? I definitely wasn't sitting here talking to him for that long. At least, not that I could remember. I took another look around to confirm that what I already knew. This was not the last place I remembered being. This was the Sodashima seawall, not the abandoned park with the cherry blossom trees. Weirdly enough, the sky was still the same deep orange as it had been when I last looked at it. So I couldn't have been out for that long. I fumbled around for my cell phone, wanting to check the time, but it wasn't in my right side pocket like it was supposed to be. Panicking, I tried to remember if I'd simply forgotten it at home, but then belatedly realized that I was already holding it in my left hand. Relieved, I was about to press the button to make the screen turn on, when another question took hold of my mind. If I was passed out, how could I have pulled my cell phone out of my pocket? And that wasn't the only thing that didn't add up. The clothes I was wearing now were totally different from the ones I'd been wearing earlier. I specifically remembered sliding my hoodie on this morning. But now here, I was wearing a regular crewneck sweatshirt. One that definitely did belong to me, for the record. I had no memory at all of changing into it. Or was it possible that I'd somehow been wearing the crewneck the whole time and simply mistaken it for my favorite hoodie this morning? Surely not. They weren't even the same color. Hey, come on, kid. Don't climb up on me again, the officer said, calling me out for being distracted. I quickly shot my head up to look back at him. Sorry, officer, I'm a bit confused, I guess. About what time it is and the clothes I'm wearing, stuff like that. If you say so, well, I can't help you with your wardrobe, but you should know what time it is at least. Think about it. Don't you hear the 6 o'clock chime go off? Huh? Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Must have slipped my mind. Though, that only raised more questions in my head. I decided to leave at that and shove my cell phone back into my pant pocket, so as not to seem like I did not believe him, and to give the guy some credit. I had heard the 6 o'clock chime while I was sitting here, but I'd also heard it back at the abandoned park, which shouldn't have been possible, unless I was somehow magically teleported here in the blink of an eye. No, even then, the officer claimed I'd been sitting here talking to him since at least 5:55. So what the hell was going on? No matter how hard I racked my brain, I couldn't come up with any sensible explanation for it. Wowie. And because of freaking soulful, I started saying P-U. Thanks. Whoops, that was loud. And oh shoot, I still haven't searched or found my Gudetama bookmark. Where did it go? I swear, if I put it in one of my older books and I just placed it in my room somewhere, a stroller. No problem, you are sickening. Time to get a new bookmark. I'm being honest, this lighting is making me sleepy. It's so comfortable, but it's making me sleepy too. Speaking of vocabulary, shoot, I already forgot what cocksure means. It means arrogant, right? Let me Google to remember. Yeah, arrogantly confident. An arrogantly confident masterpiece? I wouldn't know how to define masterstroke. It just means good, right? An outstandingly skillful and opportune act. Okay, an outstanding act. and arrogantly, confidently, outstanding. That's a lot of adjectives with just 2 words. Something that's done arrogantly, but also very well, and turned out well. That was a culture masterstroke. Wander, thank you for giving me new vocabulary. I mean, they're not new, but thank you for combining those 2 together for me. But I'm sure if I said that on someone's stream chat, I'll get banned. And if I start accidentally using it so often that I accidentally start saying it in public, like at work, it's so Jover from me. Like I'm about to be playing chess with my coworker and then they like do a ballsy move and I'm like, yeah. Cocksure masterstroke. And it's Jover. They're just gonna tip their king over and surrender and then leave and never interact with me ever again. Distinguished gentleman. Oh lord, this is the opposite. A disgusting gentleman, I guess. I don't want to say the opposite of gentle and combine it with man. Demure. Alright. Oh my gosh, okay. This lighting is tough. Whew, alright. Look, kid, the officer began. If you aren't feeling too hot, I'd be happy to give you a ride home. Or take you over to the clinic to get checked out, if you'd prefer. No, you don't have to do that. I can't walk myself home. Thanks, though. You sure? Well, okay. Look, I know it's been a rough few days, but try not to overthink things, alright? It wasn't your fault, and you did everything you could. Anyway, I've gotta get going, but I'll see you around. Wait, huh? It's actually, unironically, the accident wasn't your fault. I mean, we got spoiled by this from the freaking synopsis on the back. I stammered as he straddled his bike and put one foot up on the pedals. Oh, and one more thing, he added, looking back over his shoulder at me. No more late night rendezvous. Wait, rendezvous, right? For a while, yeah? I know you're young, but you've got to dial it back. And with that, he pedaled off. I sat there for a good long while trying to figure out what he meant by late night rendezvous. And how had it been a rough few days? Oh? I mean, the girl, I forgot her name by the way, apparently knows about the time skip thing or whatever, so probably with her. What's up, Short King? Hope you're doing well. Still, it seemed like he was genuinely concerned about me. So I must have really looked like I was at the end of my rope. Wait, is this your first reading stream? My hands. Which wasn't that far from the truth. And honestly, I hadn't felt this confused and gaslit in a very long time. Yes. Yeah, I used to do reading streams, but that was like a year ago. And if you scroll to the bottom, you can see all the books we've read. I just started doing them because I have a consistent schedule now and a bit more free time. So I started doing them again. And yeah, the first reading stream, or return of it, the first time was last week. And this is the second one. And we're reading Wait for Me Yesterday in Spring. Who was also the author of The Tunnel to Summer, The Exit of Goodbyes, which became an anime movie. Fry not now. Read the room, I'm kidding. I would be a vape tester? Like, that's what you want to be? Volunteer to be? I mean, sure, I personally would never encourage that. It's bad for you. But you do. I've been vape testing for free, what does that mean? Where were we? Gaslit. The struggle to wrap my head around it was starting to make my vision blur. It felt like I was being made the victim of a cruel joke. All vapors are vape testing? Oh my god. You get money? Hold up. But still, it's not worth it. Do other ways to get money. That thought gave me pause. What if it really was some prank? Today was April Fool's Day, after all. Maybe someone predicted that I'd finally be coming back this spring break and got the whole island in on some super elaborate plan to make me feel like a crazy person. No. There was no way. I shook that ridiculous conspiracy theory from my mind. I needed to stop overthinking this. It was making my brain hurt. Plus, it was getting dark out. It was about time I made my way home. That makes her lips... Wait, what? April Fool's in Japan? I guess so. Since they mentioned it. I just wonder if it's popular. Maybe it's not that popular. Then again, I haven't read like a slice of life or shonen comedy, rom-com in like ages. I slowly gaslit my vape friends with that fact. There's that's pretty funny. By the time I made it back to the house, the sun had completely dipped beneath the horizon, and there was no longer much light outside at all. When I opened the front door, Eddie came out from the living room in her school uniform, and we made eye contact. It wasn't until that moment that I remembered she and I got into a fight earlier. And my stomach dropped. I wasn't sure if I should play it off like nothing had happened or be the bigger person and open with an apology. But in the end, she broke the ice before I could even make up my mind. I wonder if it's that hard. It was that hard to apologize. I mean, to just man up and... Not man up, I hate that word. To stop being prideful and just apologize. Can you follow along the story with your whole... What do you mean by my whole hand? Like do this or something? Or do this? I don't know. I don't know how that's even possible. Yeah, Estelle, you got... Yes, you are sick. Estelle, you redeemed Omikuchi this morning, and you got favored by Mofu, so you got VIP'd when you got that. We're on mobile because sometimes you can't see it when you're on mobile. And oh my god, it's the third person that got banned, or third bot that got banned. Wait, Estelle, I already do that. I already follow every word with my finger, but my whole hand. How do I even do that? You know what? Y'all get this. I can't even read from like this. Wait, where are we? I have to look at the stream to read it because I don't have an eagle eye view. Because I went... Wait. Your home... It's so dark. You're home pretty late. Come on. Hurry up. And... get inside, she urged. Sure. 1 sec. Okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. What are you doing? Blame Soulful. That's what they said. They wanted me to do. Implement an eye tracker somehow? For... Oh, I guess it is possible. Wait, would it? Where would the eye tracker camera be? Unless they're really small and just put it like here, but... I mean, I've never used eye trackers before, so I don't know how they work. I wonder. I feel like it would be more annoying than... It would be very annoying for a stream though, or for reading streams. Now he reads like, first, leave me alone. Alright, sure, 1 sec, I replied. She was acting perfectly normal. I couldn't hear any hint of anger in her voice. I always thought she was the type to never let a grudge go, but maybe I hadn't given her enough credit. I still needed to apologize, though. It seemed like It seemed like the right thing to do, especially since I was the older sibling. I slid off my shoes and stepped into the hallway, stopping Eddie as she made her way toward the bathroom. Hey, Eddie? May you record the book and look at the recording? Look at the recording? But why? I'm just gonna sit there for 2 hours straight looking at myself reading the day before? Just to add... I'm sorry, the image of that makes is so dumb of me just sitting in front of my computer watching not even a movie. Look at your own stream. You know what, Wonder? You're way smarter than that's way smarter. I'm the dumb one for reading it, for taking it the worst way possible. Oh, that is definitely possible. Wait, let me... Yeah, that is definitely possible. Kinda, you're kidding me, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's definitely possible. But why? Would y'all actually prefer that? I mean, I guess y'all wouldn't know until you see it, right? I got a low-paying job. Yippee, now I can fund my... Oh my lord. Now we pretty extra. Alright. Yeah? What is it? Listen, I'm sorry for all that stuff I said before. That was really immature of me. Huh? What are you even talking about? You know, we got into that argument and then I basically stormed out of the house. She squinted her eyes and looked at me dubiously for a moment. Then I saw, oh, as if I'd refresh her memory on some irrelevant factoid she long since purged from her mind. Yeah, don't worry about that, she said. I'm over it. Besides, I said some stuff I probably shouldn't have too. Like filtering every version of the word. You are sick. To be fair, y'all can say friend. Because I don't have the VTuber thing up. Or I don't turn it on. Or I didn't open it, so y'all can actually say friend freely. Unfortunately. I was extremely taken aback by this response. This was the same girl who would never dream of apologizing. Wait, why can't you say friend? Oh, cause if y'all know about me, I rant a lot about friends and making connections, and I'm scared of befriending people and initiating. So an ongoing joke is that I hate the word friend. And recently I made I made the bot, or a moderator bot, to detect that every time someone says the word friend, they would delete your message and replace it with the word stranger instead. So if it was my normal stream and you said something like, hey, let's be friends, instead that would be replace it. Oh, it would replace it with acquaintance, not stranger. And then the bot will delete your message and repeat your message saying, hey, let's be acquaintances. And that's it. Oh god, that font is horrible for reading. Chat, you stop that, Wonder. Does look fancy though. I don't read this part, right? I just read this. Or even back down the slightest inch, no matter how mad you got at her. This, more than anything else, drove home for me how much she'd grown in the past 2 years. As I silently admired her newfound maturity, Eddie was seemingly getting impatient for some reason and changed the subject. Paid hater? I'm a friend hater, that's for sure. So hey, shouldn't you be getting ready? She asked. Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry, I'll get right on that. Ready for what exactly? Wait, you didn't forget the wake is tonight, did you? Wake? What wake? Did someone die? As soon as these words left my lips, she squinted at me yet again, only this time, it wasn't a look of confusion but one of reproach. Kanai, you're kidding me, right? Don't be surprised. We knew this with a synopsis. You can literally do exclamation mark book for a synopsis and you get spoiled by who died. Suffer with me. Friend, no book. I'm about to. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's the premise of the book. Don't be surprised again. Yeah, I already mentioned this earlier, but I still can't believe during that rally, that Democratic rally, Little John showed up. And the reason why I brought it up was because Wander's emo is reading a cookbook and reminded me of Little John. If y'all don't know, Bake It by the Book featuring Little John. It's a goated song. Now I feel like I'm gonna be a little upset as Hero dying. Little John, wait, that's his name, right? Or is that not how you pronounce L-I-L? It's like Lil. Little John. Yeah, L-I-L. Is it Lil? Are you telling me it's pronounced Lil all this time? I always said the word little. Very different effects? Yeah, but I thought it was pronounced the same. There's no way. Someone's in middle school? You're sick. Turned down for what? Yeah, it means little, but like, that's a mispronounced. What? It's actually pronounced Lil? Is it Lil or like what? Yeah, that song, yeah. Queens versus High. So is it pronounced Lil? Because I actually don't know how to pronounce it. Is Lil? I've never heard of that. It is Lil. They sound the exact same, I guess, because people say it so quickly. Okay, I'm having an existential crisis. I've gone like 20 plus years saying that, and no one confronted me about it. To be fair, I can't name anyone else with L-I-L in its name. Shoot. Who? But what? Yeah, but I knew about that at least. I would fight a British person, what? That's crazy. My night is now ruined. Little baby, I'll be honest. The amount of times I pronounce the word L-I-L and as little, it's probably very little. Because I guess I don't listen to rap or talk about celebrities or whatever that much, so I don't really know or really have opportunities to say their names. And I guess little sounds so much like Lil. It's just so no one bothered or thought to correct me. I don't know. And I probably only said like Lil Jon like 2 or 3 times in my life. Make it easier to say, yeah. Like, what's up? It's funny to hear. My life is ruined. I don't think I've ever said Lil Wayne in my life. I know who they are, but that's it. I'm familiar with their name, but I don't think I've ever like mentioned it. I guess to be fair, I don't really talk about that kind of stuff with my friends. I don't really talk about music, rap, or anything. Huh. Okay, time to read. I'm sad now. Thanks, y'all. I decided to take her disrespectful tone on the chin this time and answer as honestly as I could. No. I seriously don't have any idea. It wasn't anyone close to me, was it? I asked. Now I know right when you're sick. And I apologize. Apologies. Get out. So powerful what reason? Oh, very lighthearted, it's funny. I've been a doofus all my life. Eddie hesitated a moment, then answered in a fragile, soft voice. It's endearing? Oh my gosh. It was Akito Hoshino. How could you even forget that? It took my brain a solid few seconds to connect the dots between the name Akito and the word dead. Once it did, my mind went straight into denial mode. Whoa. Hold on. Are you pulling my leg? I saw him down at the ferry dock earlier today. Wait, am I trolling? Oh, wait, are they sisters? Is Akito the sister of, the girl? I forgot her name already. Or did I miss that from the synopsis? Am I trolling? Any chance I could use the following moves because Switch chased them? Yeah, same, I don't know what that is. The brother, pretty sure. Did they mention that? I guess I'm trolling. Yeah, I was like, wait, they have the same last name. It took my brain a solid few seconds to connect the dots between the name Akito and the word dead. Once it did... Wait, I reread that. Huh? Wait, I see what's going on here. This is all just one big April Fool's joke, isn't it? Very funny, you guys, but it's really not cool to lie about people dying, you know? Feel free to give it a rest now. Kanai, what are you talking about? Her expression was graver than I'd ever seen it before. She was looking at me as though she genuinely thought I'd suffered some sort of brain damage. I'm sorry. Okay. Every time I see the word brain damage, it's always associated with some angry League of Legends player. So that made me laugh. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It just reminded me of League of Legends, okay? That's why I laughed. She was looking at me as though she genuinely thought I'd suffered some sort of brain damage. The next thing she said almost made me start to consider that as an option myself. Average League player. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, those will be hard hands? Yeah, it looks like golf balls. It's not April Fool's Day anymore, Kanai. It's the 5th. Akito died 4 days ago. I don't know if you're in denial or what, but you need to snap out of it. Now could you please move? I need to fix up my hair. Hetty gave me a side-eyed glance as she squeezed past me into the bathroom. I stood shocked still in the middle of the hall, unsure what to believe anymore. What, was Akito really dead? And not only that, he'd been dead for 4 days? If that were the case, then who did I see down at the harbor when I got here this afternoon? They look alike? Or his ghost? As if. Then I remembered something else Eddie had said. That today was actually April 5th. Now I knew I was on spring break, and thus could afford to lose track of the date a little bit. But there was no way I could be 4 whole days off. I pulled my cell phone out of my pocket in the hopes of vindicating myself, pressed a button, and a screen lit up. My phone screen announced that it was indeed April 5th, exactly as Eddie had said. No way. I ran into the living room, checking everything I could find that might display today's date. The TV, the newspaper, the electric table clock, but each and every one of them said the same thing, April 5th. Yet I still refused to believe it. Something definitely wasn't right here. This was going way too far, even for a very elaborate prank. I left the living room and went looking for my grandmother. I opened the sliding door to the Japanese-style sitting room, where I found her rummaging through some drawers. Drawers? Drawers. Hey, Grandma? Could I ask you something? Oh, Kanai, she exclaimed, turning around to face me. I didn't know you'd come home. Good timing too. I was thinking that for the wig you could wear. Grandma, what day is today? I asked, cutting her off. Goodness, where's this coming from? Just tell me, please. Well, let's see. It's Thursday, so I suppose that'd make it the 5th. And that's the truth? You're 100% sure of this? Assuming I haven't gone senile yet. But yes. Yeah. But yes. I'm sure I can swear on your late granddad's grave. If that'll convince you. Okay. I knew my grandmother would never lie on her dead husband's name. So I guess that meant it really was April 5th. Without a doubt, I couldn't find any hard evidence to the contrary, and both my sister and grandmother seemed pretty adamant about it. Maybe I really was the crazy one here. Man, what the hell is happening to me? I whispered. I felt like the whole world was collapsing in on me. First, I pass out and wake up somewhere completely different. Then I find out Akito's dead. And then they tell me I've got the date wrong by several days? This was starting to feel less like an elaborate prank and more like a nonsensical nightmare. While I stood there clutching my head in my hands, my grandmother pulled a set of black clothes out of the drawer and held them out to me. Here, you should change into these. Whew. My grandma's swearing on her husband? Yeah. I don't know what I would do. Yeah, I might trust my phone maybe. I mean, I'll probably just... I'll probably also like call my friends too to see if it's actually legit. Life is a little bit too much. My grandmother explained to me that proper funeral attire for kids my age was to simply wear our normal school uniforms. I, however, had run away from home, so I didn't have my own uniform with me. She graciously offered me my dad's old uniform. From his days at Sonoshima High, to wear instead. It was a traditional all-black affair with a stand-up collar, and it happened to fit me perfectly. Much to my chagrin. Chagrin, right? Once we were all changed and ready, my grandmother, Eddie, and I started walking over to the Sonoshima Community Center, where the wake was being held. 7 out of 10? Is it chagrin? The chilly night air was the perfect temperature to cool off my overheated brain, and the travel time gave me a chance to try to put some of my disparate thoughts in order. I did some logical deduction while we walked and eventually managed to convince myself of two objective facts. Number 1, today was not April 1st but April 5th. That was what all the evidence pointed to, including 2 separate testimonies, so I had no choice but to accept it as true. Number 2, I had absolutely no memory of the 4-day period from 6 p.m. on April 1st to 6 p.m. on April 5th. Or in terms of actual events. There was a huge gap in my memories between me touching that rock at the shrine and the abandoned park and sitting on the seawall talking to the island patrolman earlier. The only reason I knew both events happened at exactly 6 p.m. was because in both instances, I could hear the island 6 o'clock chime ring out in the background. This meant that there was a 96-hour period for which my memory was completely blank. The first and perhaps most rational explanation I would come up with was that I'd suffered some sort of brain injury or neural malfunction. An amnesic episode. Amnesic episode. Or a case of early onset dementia. Granted, I didn't know how rare it was for kids my age to come down with the latter, but the former was extremely possible. It happened to kids who got concussions all the time. I'd read so many books with amnesic protagonists. Amnesic? Jick? Like Jia? Amnesic? There's no way. Protagonist that I considered a bit of a boring plot device. The thanks, Wander. Amnesia? Okay, but amnesia, I like SIA, right? SIC. Is it amnesia? Because I say amnesia. Amnesia. Okay, this is. Okay, maybe you're alright. Wander, I'm sick of you. Mods, ban Wander. Amnesiac? I was wrong. Wait, you're wrong? You're wrong? Today is a good day. Let me double check though. Because I want to see how it's exactly sound. It is amnesiac, okay? Amnesia is like with the ja, right? Yeah, okay. What's amnesic? Dang, that's crazy, Wander. Ooh, you really try to hit me with the logic too. But me, my intuition was stronger. One point to be Luffy. I'm kidding. That's probably the only time I'm right. And honestly, I believe you because you made so much sense. I was like, wait, you're right. Amnesia, amnesic. If you never told me that you were wrong, I would have just believed you and went with it. Alright. But thank you, Wander. Burberry. Only thing I think was that it was somewhere related to that stone. Okay, yeah, it was that. Oh no, it was here. I had read so many books with amnesic protagonists that I considered it a bit of a boring plot device. But now that I was fated with the possibility of it happening to me in real life, it was damn scary. The thought of having potentially serious brain damage at such a young age was not an appealing one. The only other explanation I could think of was that it was somehow related to that stone in the little forgotten shrine. Only because it legitimately felt like my mind and body were warped to a different place and time the moment I laid my fingers on it. Perhaps by simply touching the rock, I'd angered whatever god or spirit was enshrined therein, and fallen under some sort of curse. It sounded pretty ridiculous, which may have been why I preferred it to the possibility of major brain damage, regardless of what caused my memory loss. Though, I needed to find out what happened in that 4-day interim. Interim? You know, I know this word, but I just never pronounced it. And the best way to do that was to ask around. I jogged ahead a little bit to catch up with my sister and matched her pace. Hey, Eri, can I ask you something? What do you want? So I know this is gonna sound like a weird question, but have I been spending a lot of time at home lately? Huh? She balked. What kind of question is that? You know better than me. Cause you repressed. What? I can't believe Wonder's so strict. I don't remember how I pronounced it. Interim? Yeah, interim. Huh? Oh wait, no, I heard that. No, I know. I wanted to know if you felt like I was spending enough time at home or not. If that makes sense. She looked at me suspiciously, clearly not buying this explanation at all. I myself was fully aware that it sounded like a pretty flimsy pretext, but I didn't want to come right out and admit that there was a 4-day gap in my memory and risk her potentially forcing me to go see a doctor. For now, All I could do was chain one lame excuse into the next. Eventually, Eddie answered. What the heck was that voice? Eddie answered, though not before turning face forward again and breaking eye contact. Hold up. My parents are walking around me. My dad always wakes up to say, "Do you remind me of anything?" Like just now, my dad was like, "Hey, the milk is expiring. If you're planning on snacking tonight, drink milk along with it, cause it's expiring soon." Okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep now. Or like, "Hey, remember to close the windows before you sleep. It gets chilly, man." Goes back to sleep. "Hey, man, remember to turn off the lights or turn off the internet once you go to sleep." Anyways, back to bed. Classic. Yes, my dad does that every... Okay, not every day, but like maybe every other day. Which I guess from the third part perspective, it's like cute or charming, but you know, I guess I appreciate it, but man. Oh my gosh, I got the backseat. Ain't no way. Okay, where do we get interrupted on? You've actually been going out a lot the past few days. 1 or 2 nights you didn't even come home. Or at least, not until after I was already asleep. This was valuable information. The fact that she noted I was gone 1 or 2 nights told me that I had spent at least half of the nights in my own bed. So it wasn't as if I was leading a totally different lifestyle. That still left a few unanswered questions. So I needed more information. Do you know where I've been going? I pressed further. Or if I was staying somewhere else on those 1 or 2 nights I didn't come home? Is there something in the water over there in Tokyo? Some sort of brain-eating bacteria or something? Huh? What the hell is that supposed to mean? I'm saying you've been acting weird ever since you got here, Eddie said, turning to look me straight in the eye once more. Normal people don't ask questions like that. No, Joe. I really think you should go to the hospital. Oh, come on. Now you're over-exaggerating. No, I'm not. Something is definitely wrong with you. It's obvious. Can I averted my eyes from her piercing stare, fumbling for some sort of excuse. This was exactly what I was hoping to avoid, but now that she was already suspicious, maybe I should come clean and tell her the whole truth. That I'd skipped ahead 4 days in time. The problem was that if I did that, there was a very real chance she'd drag me to the hospital, or tell someone that could, and I didn't want to make my grandmother worry, as much as maybe I really did need to get checked out. Quiet, you two, my grandmother cut in. We're almost there. Be respectful. Phew. Saved by the bell. I thought to myself as we approached the community center where the wake was being held. It was a fairly large open building, about the size of a small gymnasium. A line of adults in mourning attire had formed in the building's usually vacant courtyard. I could tell that Eddie still had plenty more she wanted to say to me, but she obediently let it go the moment we got in line. After signing the guest book, we headed inside. Once we entered the spacious main hall, I spotted Kari wearing her Sodashima High uniform out of the corner of my eye. I knew that she went to high school there, obviously, but this was the first time I'd actually seen her in her uniform. She looked much more ladylike and refined compared to when I saw her down on the seawall. I thought about going over and saying hi, but she was talking to a group of adults dressed all in black. It really didn't seem like the right time. I sat down next to Eddie and my grandmother in one of the many rows of metal folding chairs. Then looked up at the altar. Yo, metal folding chairs is just associated with wrestling or WWE. Seeing Akito's face up there in the picture frame drove the harsh reality of his death home for me, in a way I hadn't yet fully come to grips with. Am I trolling? I thought it was gripes. Or is it grips? Or are they like different, used in different ways? I don't know. Grips with. I think they're both different things. They're both things. Having gripe towards something. Get a grip. Yeah, it is probably different. Yeah. Like annoyance. Yeah. I just never just heard a term come to grips. Get a grip. Yeah. This was my childhood hero after all. He even came rushing to my rescue once upon a time. Get yourself together. Yeah. I was in the 3rd grade, getting picked on by a group of delinquent junior high schoolers. I was scared and surrounded when Akito happened to walk by. Despite being younger and smaller than the bullies, he jumped fearlessly to my defense, throwing punches left and right until the other older kids ran off like scared rabbits. I could still remember the little exchange I had with him immediately after that. Next time, I don't want to see you standing there shaking your boots like that, he scolded me. Pisses me off. You know you didn't do anything wrong, and so do they. So don't you dare let them get to you. Keep your head held high. There's no way, isn't that like 1v3 or something? What if that makes them angrier and they start hitting me, I replied, shaking. Shook. Then you just grab a big old rock, chuck it right at their heads and run like hell. That's crazy. At the time, I couldn't believe the audacity of what he was suggesting. But as time went on, those words became something of a personal mantra for me. Mantra? It's mantra, right? Whenever I felt uneasy or afraid, I tell myself that it really came down to it. I could always throw rocks at their heads and run like hell. It was oddly reassuring to me. You're right. Fake you, Sofu. Like, at least put an apostrophe there though. Mountain. Phew! Honestly, I knew it wasn't really commendable advice. Not had I ever actually resorted to that. But it still gave a scrawny little kid like me the confidence he needed. Oh, I thought you were making a joke. God dang it. I thought you were making a joke by saying that because you're... Hey, you pronounce it right. While you don't have that good... Anyways, don't worry about it. I just thought it was a joke, so don't mind me. I mean, I say that too. I use U and R to be fair. You're right. Whatever. Obviously, I knew it wasn't really commendable advice, agreed. Not had I ever actually resorted to that, but it still gave a scrawny little kid like me the confidence he needed in order to not be afraid of other people. Spell on the internet? So true, wonder. I didn't know how Akito felt about me, or if he even remembered that little interaction, but I still felt his loss pretty deeply and wished he were still here with us. So true, wonder. Dang, Sofu, we're so alike. Okay, sis. I'm sorry, I would like to apologize. I've changed for the better. After the incense lighting and sutra chanting was all said and done, you can't play that cringe vocally because I get happy. Dies from cringe. Yo, I love Eos. I love the bamboos, they're so cute. Akito's mother took a stand before the altar to say a few words to the congregation. Even from afar, I could see that her face was haggard and emaciated. Her hair had lost its luster. Her eyes looked somewhat vacant. She looked as though she might collapse at any moment. But Akari stood by her to offer support while she gave her remarks. The ceremony was officially over after she finished her speech, so we all stood up from our seats and began filing back out toward the entrance hall. Apparently, the immediate family had prepared small thank you gifts for attendees. So the three of us got in line and slowly advanced toward the reception desk. We were waiting for our turn to come when I overheard the two people who got in line directly behind us having a fairly blunt exchange. Looks like they're not gonna feed us, huh? No refreshments or anything. I mean, what do you expect? That poor woman's got enough on her plate right now, especially as the lone breadwinner in the family. Anyway, did you hear what the cause of death was? Wait, why are you looking at me like that? Or staring like that? Yeah, acute alcohol poisoning, right? Heard they got the autopsy back yesterday. Alcohol poisoning, huh? In other words, he drank too much. Who complains about the... Oh, you're right. To be fair, I've only been... Oh no, I've been to 2 funerals and one of them didn't have food, right? I guess I didn't think about that. Though actually, I remembered learning in health class that in most cases, it wasn't actually the alcohol in the victim's bloodstream that killed them. It was choking on their own vomit. I didn't even want to consider that in further detail. The image of Sodashima's star athlete spending his final moments like that was too much to beat. Bear. As the line moved forward, it eventually came to be our turn. Akari and her mother were handing out the thank you gifts personally, so we gave them our condolences, and then I politely accepted the small gift bag from Akari. Wow, look at you, she whispered softly, scanning me up and down as she handed over the little paper bag. Wait, where did you get a Sodashima High uniform? What, this? That's my dad's old one. Can't wait to get home and take it off, honestly. It's super tight around the neck. Oh, gotcha. Looks good on you though. Really. As she emphasized that last word, her eyes suddenly began to water. I wasn't sure if I was reminding her of Akito in his uniform or what, but I scrambled to pull out my handkerchief and offered it to her. It was a good thing my grandmother had convinced me to bring one along. Listen, I know we haven't really talked for a couple of years, but if you need someone to talk to, you know, I'm here for you. I swear, she's gonna say like, we just talked yesterday. In the past 3 days. I said, cringing internally at how canned and predictable my words must have come across. Akari seemed to take it as a general offer of solace, as she gave a weak little nod while dabbing the corners of her eyes with a handkerchief. Try your face, my lady? There's no way. What time is it? 2:33. Hold up. $96. Ooh, that's like 30. Oh no, that's 26 pages. Can we do that? Should I do 26 pages? I did want to play games tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling. You what? What do you mean you what? I want to play games. I barely played games this week. I want to rest. But I enjoy reading though. But it gets tiring. I still haven't watched a new episode of losing what was the anime name again? That was the one about losing heroines. League. No, I do not want to play League. Too many losing heroines. Yeah, there we go. I do not want to play League. TFT sounds pretty fun though, but no, I'll probably just be playing ZZZ. I'm so obsessed with ZZZ and Wuthering Waves. Oh, wait, not really Wuthering Waves, but ZZZ for sure. Wuthering Waves is kind of mean. I would play Soro Convalera if I wasn't streaming it. Alright. Where were we? I don't remember. Did we read this? There were still other people waiting in line behind us, so we said our goodbyes and made our way out of the building. Outside, the night sky was crystal clear and the air was cold enough that it felt like winter still hadn't left us completely. My grandmother suggested that we start heading home, and so the three of us quickly got to walking. We'd hardly even made it a block from the facility when I heard footsteps running up on us. From behind, I turned around. It was Akane. Hey, what's up? I said. Oh, you don't have to give me back the handkerchief right now. It's okay. No, it's not that, she said, catching her breath. Listen, there's something I need to tell you, Akane-kun. There is? Yeah, about what's been happening with you the last 4 days. Or what's going to happen, I guess I should say. At first, I didn't have the slightest clue what she was trying to tell me. A moment later, the implications of her knowing something about the last 4 days hit me like a truck. I practically pounced on her. Oh, don't phrase it like that. Placing my hand on her shoulders. Wait, you know what's going on? I demanded. A piece of hair? You stop that. She squealed in surprise, but I paid it no mind. It wasn't until I felt her shoulders trembling that I realized how wildly inappropriate it was for me to grab her like that. Immediately regretting my actions, I tore my hands away. Oh, sorry, I didn't know what came over me. I just don't know what's going on, and I tried to explain. No, it's okay, I got it. I get it. I can't explain everything to you right here and now, so... She trailed off and brought her lips in close to whisper in my ear. Meet me in the old abandoned park tomorrow at 5 in the afternoon. I'll tell you everything you want to know. She pulled her head back, said a quick, okay, see you tomorrow, then turned around and started trotting back over toward the community center. I watched her around the corner, already sensing Eddie's suspicious glare burning a hole in the back of my head. Tomorrow? I mean, I guess it would take too much effort to explain yesterday. Like, see you yesterday, and having to explain what that means. But imagine not seeing her tomorrow because it became yesterday instead of saying, ooh, I guess I won't be seeing her tomorrow because now it's the day after tomorrow and it became yesterday instead. I don't know. I'm just being dumb. What was that about? She demanded, round cue. Couldn't tell you even if I wanted to, I replied. Hey, it was the truth, under my breath, I added. Hopefully I'll find out tomorrow. When I awoke the next morning, the first thing I saw was my cell phone lying next to my head. I snatched it up and checked the date and time. It was April 6th, at 8 a.m. I buried my head in my pillow. Time hadn't magically returned to normal overnight. Okay, time did actually pass. Never mind, it did not become yesterday. Much to my... It was starting to seem like this really wasn't a dream, much to my dismay. After we made it home from the wake last night, I quickly took care of my nightly routine, then holed up in my bedroom. Or maybe it happens at 6 o'clock maybe, every time at 6 o'clock. I didn't try to get any more information from Eddie or my grandmother about the last 4 days. I didn't want to raise any red flags, but my main reason was that I had a glimmer of hope to cling on to, at least. Thanks to Akane. I'll tell you everything you want to know. If she could shed some light on this bizarre and terrifying phenomenon that was happening to me, I'd be forever in her debt. That said, I had no idea how on earth she could know about the 4-day gap in my memories, since I hadn't told anyone about it. And that wasn't the only mystery either. There were several other gigantic question marks, like why she told me to meet her at the old abandoned park, a place that I didn't even know existed until I stumbled upon it after the last time I talked to her on April 1st. It was possible she discovered it on her own, of course, but then, how could she be so confident that I would know where it was? You should do a 100k redeem where someone can recommend a book for you to read? Yeah. No. Because if it's a book I'm not into, forcing myself to read it for potentially like several months will be a miserable experience. And I would have to buy it too, and you know, Fate has a bajillion points, some other people have a bajillion points. Wonder, I'm about to destroy you. Is it one of those Chinese web novels? If it's a Japanese one, I'll be surprised. How many Japanese novels are over 1,000 chapters? Korean? What is it? I didn't know there was a translated one that was over 1,000. You have 50 points and to have something drawn on your hand. Wait, what do you mean by and? 250 points to draw something on my hand, or 250 points to pick a book and to have something drawn on my hand? Oh, overgeared. Really? It's over 1,000? That's crazy. 2,000? That's insane. Oh, now that I think about it, I read The Legendary Moonlight Sculptor. That one's gotta be over 1,000, right? I mean, it might not be chapters, but it feels like over 1,000. Holy hell, that one's long. Oh, disregard, I see. Do you trust them on my hand? I mean, 250 seems a lot. And only for flex your forearm? No. Y'all just see bones. Things weren't adding up, and it was starting to give me a headache, given that I'd been working my brain virtually non-stop since yesterday. Though that wasn't a surprise. Perhaps the brain could get strained or pulled from overuse, like any other muscle. It was as good a reason as any to go back to sleep for a while, so my brain could get some much-needed rest. 10k points? I don't know if that's something I would like to do. I heard good things about it, but it's too long for me to get into. I really enjoyed it when I read it in high school, but I can't get back to it now. It's immersive. It's like an MMORPG slice of life, experience where the typical dude where they just discover something specifically for them and no one else can, and being OP because of it. So you're into that kind of like vibes, those cozy vibes, definitely. But for me, it's so long. It's too much. Oh, so like was it kind of long? Like yeah. But I'm gonna get some water first. Or more water. BRB. I'll be back. And I am back, kind of. Excited that the story is kind of picking up now. I like reading stories where people live my dream life or just chilling with a loving family, and how they're attacked by an outside source. Wonders feeling evil. I don't know. I don't want me check DMs. Oh lord. It's all doo-doo and giggles until somebody... Okay, you got me. You got me there. That's so dumb. That's all doo-doo and giggles until somebody... Dude, giggles and doo-doos. You caught me. You caught me. Oh, you're the guy with the scary face who adopted a bunch of kids? People like that even though it has the little chippers out? And I never heard that one. I got him? Whatever, dude. I know this joke too, but it's so dumb. I'll permit you. If you can find it, 60 seconds. Otherwise, you can, if I'm reading, and just post it in the Discord instead. Can I read for another hour? What do you mean, just in case? Come on, Wonder, is it being timed out fun? Nothing? What the? Just resting a bit before starting again. Damn, I want to play more ZZZ after stream, but I feel like wanting to read till page 96. Alright. Let's get back to it. Nine chapters. They did say didn't have that many chapters out. I awoke again sometime around noon and ate a light lunch with my grandmother. She told me that Eddie had gone off to the mainland with a family for the day. Mainland. Which came as a bit of a relief. She'd been blatantly suspicious of me ever since that last night. And I didn't want to get trapped in another interrogation scenario with her. I did recognize, though, that all her prying was because she was concerned about me, and I was the one who gave her the cause to worry in the first place. When we finished eating, my grandmother asked if I could help her with something. Oh, did you end stream, Shiki? Wait. I need to take her VIP away. Alright, there we go. Hey Shiki, how are you doing? Hope stream went well. I was lurking. That's not even me. No, it's for 24 hours. Hey, get out. I hope the collab went well. Did you finish the game? Cause y'all are like so close. And Shiki, yeah, I hope the game went well. I heard good things about that game. Why are you repeating Fry's joke? And Fry's here too. Fruit facts drawing. Why are you? Oh, nice. Yeah, good luck. It's funny. It'll probably be a game I'll play off stream. I have two main games. I might be playing Persona on stream, and that game's 100 hours. It'll be over. I might retire before I finish it. And I didn't get Persona 5. I got Persona 5, 4, and 3. But you know, it might be a while because I'm trying to finish the first Shin Megami Tensei first. I still can't find the gamer girl bathwater. Let me read chat. Fruit facts dropping. The gourd, scientifically known as, I'm not gonna say that. Although his culture, okay, I'm still thinking about the freaking. I saw a car approach a family of 3 and sat there like, classic. Oh, it's so funny. It's like they called a hit on the family of 3. Beat the Elden Ring, just millennial love. Yeah. I mean, fun. Okay. One of my ROTs offer a platinum is gonna get grilled by Austin or Juicy Ooh. I don't know. Oh, I see group chat. You called him Bud? Oh, really? Dang. Did you finish the? Oh, we did finish 13,000 Shiki. We took down Shikishima Industries and saved the world. I mean, honestly, I can't even explain the story. It was so confusing, but I really enjoyed it, but it was confusing and I had no idea what happened. I think I was an officer. Ooh. Yeah. There's no way. We're not gonna redo this joke. You're so sick. It was all simulation, yes. Yeah, I still, and every time Fade's gonna ask, who's this person? I'm just gonna meme that, oh, you see that person on the left over there? They're the same person. Fade fell for it 3 times. Classic. Or at least 2 times. I hate you. Classic Fade. Me? It's not my fault, Fade. It's blame 13 Sentinels. It's not my fault. It's 13 Sentinels' fault. Hell, watch with me. Stop. Who made X-Men? I don't think I was there, or I wasn't paying attention when the thing with Cole was, so I don't actually get it. Unless it's literally just Cole not knowing. See the person driving? They're the same person. You from the future trying to isekai yourself? No wonder. The family of Ford out, you are so sick. Okay, stop. But yeah, as far as games go, I don't know. Because I'm for sure playing the Fairy Tail roguelite next week. That was probably really short. And after that, I'm not sure. I mean, I need to finish Sword of Convalaria. At least one ending. I'm not sure. If I do every single ending of Sword of Convalaria, it's gonna take 5 years to finish. You still reading? Yeah, I'll probably keep reading for a while. Because the chapter ends at page 96, so. But y'all are distracting me way too much. I'm about to say all the weird things I see. Oh lord. So what happened between the first stream and now? We jumped 4 days in the future to find out that our childhood friend or hero, people died from alcohol poisoning because he choked on his own, you know, whatever. Oh, potentially, I don't know how he exactly died, but it was from alcohol poisoning. And we went to the wake, and then we talked to I believe, is the childhood hero's sister, who was our classmate, Akari, and we were just talking about it, and then she said that she knows something about his time jump, or like why he lost his memories for the past 4 days, I guess, or the time jump, I don't know. There's no shot. Fry sees a person choking, choking and about to die from alcohol poisoning. Stands there like, classic. You're so sick. We can't make this joke. It's so bad. Like, would you need help? Oh my lord. Okay, I won't keep on reading. Where were we? This is the dumbest joke. Boy, look at this dude. Whew, classic. Got a case of Ligma. Okay, no, you guys were sick. Okay. When we finished eating, my grandmother asked if I could help her with something. I've been meaning to recognize the attic. Reorganize the attic. Dang, you tried spelling the T. Or it's telling us the T. She explained, but there's so much clutter and so many heavy boxes that I've been putting it off. A strong young man like you would be just the helper I need. I still had plenty of time before I was supposed to meet up with Akari, so I agreed to help. I used the little ladder we had in storage to climb up into the attic. Thanks to the illumination provided by the single undressed light bulb, I saw that there was a bunch of cardboard boxes strewn around the musty storage space, and each one looked pretty darn heavy. I began hauling down the individual boxes my grandmother requested one by one. It didn't take long before I was sweating like a pig. After a while, I even accidentally knocked an entire box over and spilled its contents all over the attic floor. It had been filled with textbooks and other reference materials. Fade, you are disgusting. Pig sweat? I don't know, but sweating like a pig is a common term though. Must have been Dad's, I said to myself when I saw that they were all IT related. My father worked as a programmer in Tokyo, and based on the amount of margin notes he'd taken, I assumed they were probably from his college days. I picked up a composition notebook at my feet and leafed through it. Each and every page was packed from top to bottom with methodical yet hastily scribbled notes in his trademark angular handwriting. Attempting to read it hurt my eyes. I was about to close the notebook and put it back in the box when a single word circled in red pen caught my eye. It appeared to be a technical computing term for which he'd written the definition underneath. Ooh. Oh my god, Brian. Rollback. The process of restoring a database or program back to a previously defined state, usually in response to some sort of critical error. Helpful for salvaging data and preferences that have been lost or corrupted due to user mistakes or system failure. Rollback, huh? I said, letting the word linger on my lips for a while. It had a pretty cool ring to it, though, unless I decided to go into IT. I had a hunch that I'd never get a real chance to use it. I closed the notebook and put it back in the box. By the time I was running through the abandoned part of town, I only had a handful of minutes before 5 o'clock. Helping my grandmother reorganize had taken way longer than I anticipated, and now I was at risk of being late to my meetup with Akari. I ran as fast as I could through the maze-like district, occasionally tripping on potholes and uneven ground. The exit to the narrow alleyway came into view shortly after 5 p.m. Finally slowing my pace to a jog. To a jog. I tried to catch my breath as I entered the park perimeter. Standing there beneath the cherry blossom tree was a young girl in a Sodashima High uniform, squinting her eyes as she looked up at the rain of falling petals fluttering to the ground, almost like she was showering in them. I knew at once that she was Akari Hoshino, the girl I'd promised to meet here, and yet I couldn't bring myself to call out to her. It was such a breathtaking sight that I forgot my purpose altogether, only able to stand there captivated by its beauty. So when Akari noticed my presence at last and we made eye contact, I floundered. "Hey, how long have you been standing there? Let me know you're here, why don't ya?" she said, laughing awkwardly. "Yeah, sorry about that. I was just having fun looking at..." I barely stopped myself before saying the word "you." Ugh. Cringing. No way could I pull off a cheesy one-liner like that without sounding like a creep. Okay, but your thigh comment was okay? Sorry, what was that? You were having fun looking at what now? She asked, urging me to finish my thought as she cocked her head in a cutesy, teasing, demure manner. I had to come up with some sort of way to salvage this, and fast. I was looking at, oh no, I was having fun looking at old photo albums of my grandma and lost track of the time. Hence why I'm a little late. Sorry. Congratulations, Kanai. That was the lamest save in the history of mankind. Oh, gotcha. Nah, don't worry about it. I mean, you're only a couple minutes late, if that, Akari said with a warm smile. Yeah, I could hear the slightest hint of disappointment in her voice. Maybe she'd actually been hoping that I would say I was having fun looking at her. Yeah, right. I gotta be overthinking it. Akari suggested that we sit down, so I took a seat up against the trunk of the tree, holding her skirt taut. I went with taut. Akari sat down right beside me, close enough that our knees were practically one of It's taut. Touching. I was getting a little flustered by now. Needing to regain my composure and fast, I cleared my throat and got right down to brass tacks? I've never heard of that term. Or for this, got right down to brass tacks. So last night, you were saying you could tell me everything I want to know. You want to elaborate on that? I asked. Yeah, so basically like, where do I even begin? Maybe it would be easier if you asked me some questions first, she suggested. You want me to do the asking? Oh, alright then. I had a million questions I wanted to ask her, yet now that she was putting me on the spot, I couldn't seem to come up with a single one. I did still want to ask her why she chose this park at our meetup spot, and about the past 4 days in general. But what other questions did I have for her? Let's see, where relaxing feels wrong? Yeah. Not recently though. Now these days I want to relax. I guess it does feel wrong to relax though. Because I'm not used to it. How do I get over that? I don't know. Put a timer. Schedule your time throughout the day and week. Grow up. What the heck? You're so sick. Grow up. Put yourself in dirt. Fade's a bad influence? I agree. We need to stop hanging out with Fade. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would just do a schedule and schedule the time. Because you know, that might help with their mindsets, thinking that people need breaks, and if everyone keep doing work and being productive, you'll be less productive if you're tired and don't take the breaks you need, because that's what we need. And scheduling those times might help put yourself in that mindset. Let's see, how come you're wearing your uniform again today? While you sleep at 5 a.m.? Well, I mean, that's unrelated. You know, I still get good enough amount of sleep. I don't get tired. I still get my 8 hours or my 7 hours and a half. So I'm still good. What do you mean wrong? Okay, I'll get back to working when you're done streaming. Oh gosh, that's gonna be like another hour. Probably longer. Wrong. What? Seriously? That's the most pressing question on your mind right now? Gosh, you must really love these things, huh? She teased, popping the collar over Jack to show it off. That's wild. Popping the collar off her jacket to show it off. Damn, I wake up at 3 a.m? Wow. On the opposite, I wake up at 3 p.m. No, stupid, want to get the easy questions out of the way first. The girl was really throwing me for a loop today, and I knew exactly why. It was her mannerism. Zzz. They were all so much more feminine, and way flirtier than I was used to her being. It was like every little thing she did tugged at my heartstrings in one way or another. Okay, dude. Akari flashed an amused smile, then casually offered a real answer to my questions. Oh my god, 6 p.m. You're sick. Did they do the dude? There's no way they did. There's no way. I'm wearing it again today because I just got back from the funeral, and like the wake last night, we actually had to go over to the mainland for this one. I didn't really have time to get changed after we got back to the house, so I came here in the same clothes. Ah, makes sense. If I'd been in a more rational state of mind, I could have guessed that. It was pretty normal to have the memorial service the day after the wake. I rebuked myself internally for not thinking twice before asking stupid questions and then moved on to the next one on my docker. Okay, that explains that. Moving on then. Why did you think I would know about this park? Well, because you were the one who showed it to me in the first place. What? What? When was this? I didn't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all. Yeah, of course you don't, because for you, it hasn't happened yet, but it will. What's that supposed to mean? I asked, totally unable to see what she was getting at. Her face turned deathly serious. You've heard the phrase quantum leap before, right? Now this took me by surprise. She dropped a bit of terminology straight out of one of my favorite sci-fi novels. Yeah, it's like a form of time travel, right? Right. So, okay, so what about it? Akari looked at me straight in the eye and told me point blank, that's what's happening to you, Kanai-kun. You've leapt through time. Huh? I could not wrap my head around it at first. Not that anyone in my position would have been able to hear. Hey, you just traveled through time. And immediately go, oh, that explains it. However, I could at least tell that Akari wasn't pulling my leg here. The thought of her dragging me out to a deserted park taking me out back, right after her only brother passed away. She's gonna take me out back too. I'm kidding. Okay, I need to stop. Right after her only brother passed away, for the sake of feeding me a big fat lie, was even more unthinkable than it being true. I know, it sounds crazy, she went on. I totally get that. It was a hard pill for me to swallow too. But right now, I need you to hear me out. A hard pill for her to swallow? I just realized how bad my... Anyways, had she been time traveling too? I was getting more and more confused by the minute. A shotgun? A shot of fun? A gun that shoots out fun? No way, we're gonna die. The only way for her to go back in time is to die. She had been time traveling too? I was getting more and more confused by the minute, but I needed all the information I could get. It wouldn't hurt to at least listen to what she had to say. Alright, let's hear it. I agreed. Her grave expression finally softened a bit. Okay, cool. Warning you in advance though, this is gonna get pretty convoluted. I'll try my best to make it as straightforward as I can. Got it. Thanks. Alright, so to make sure we're on the same page here, the main thing you want to know right now is why you don't have any recollection of the time period from 6 p.m. on April 1st to 6 p.m. on April 5th, right? Yeah, that's exactly it. I wanted to ask her how the hell she knew that, but it seemed like she still had plenty more to say, so I mentally shelved my questions for later. Well, the reason for that, she explained, is that your consciousness made a quantum leap between those 2 points in time. Still with me? My consciousness? Not my whole body? Correct. This isn't like one of those old cartoons. You didn't accidentally step into a time machine and get physically sent forward or anything like that. Only your mind made the jump. Or at least, that's what I was told. I could feel a migraine coming on. That's what she was told? How was I supposed to believe her if she was reciting something secondhand? Sorry, who told you this again? I asked dubiously. Yeah, so like I was saying before. Actually, no. Let's circle back to that later. For now, I should probably try to stay on track and explain things in order. Something didn't sit right with me about how she seemed to be dancing around certain subjects, but I decided to keep my mouth shut and let her continue. So, I explained how you got into your current predicament. Now I'll explain what's gonna happen to you going forward. This part's really important, so listen carefully, she emphasized and nodded. Okay, so here's how this is gonna play out. You're about to relive the past 4 days, one by one in reverse order. How does that work? Think of it like this. After every 24 hours, you're going to be sent back in time 48 hours. Kinda like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Oh, and it will always happen at 6 p.m. on the dot. You'll repeat this process until you've filled in the entire 4-day gap in your memory. Sorry, I think you lost me. This is a lot to keep up with, is all. Yeah, it's pretty hard to explain in words. Here, give me one C. Akari picked up a thin branch from the ground and cleared off a large patch of dirt. Then, using the branch like a writing utensil, she wrote 4-1 or April 1st, 6 p.m. or I guess 4/1 6 p.m., and drew a long arrow pointing down from it. At its terminus, she wrote 4/5 6 p.m., and then used the branch to point at the arrow as she explained. So let's say this represents the initial quantum leap you made, right? You shot forward from 6 o'clock on the 1st to 6 o'clock on the 5th. With me so far? Yeah, and that's why I don't have any memory of the last 4 days. Go on. If he doesn't get the first, I mean, I got it. But I guess, to be fair, if you're telling me this in real life, it feels absurd, right? I don't know. And yeah, and that's why I don't have any memory of the last 4 days. Go on. From there, Akata drew an arrow to the right, where she wrote 4/6 p.m., then set the branch down and pulled out her cell phone. Oh wow, they drew it out, that's lit. Okay, so it's April 6th now, and in about 30 minutes, it'll be 6 o'clock. And from there, you're gonna get sent back to 6 o'clock on April 4th. Honestly, wonder, I don't even know. It might be both. Akari picked the branch back up, and drew an arrow diagonally down and to the left, where she wrote 4/6 p.m., according to the diagram. Once I reached the end of the 24-hour period from the evening of the 5th into the 6th, I'd be sent back 48 hours to the evening of the 4th. I could see now why Akari had explained it 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Now you see it? 24 hours or 48 hours back is already such a good explanation, in my opinion. Thanks to the visual aid, it felt like I was finally starting to grasp the bigger picture here. And then from there, Akari went on, you'll have another 24 hours until you make it back to 6 o'clock on the 5th, at which point, I'll be sent back to 6 o'clock on the 3rd? Yeah, exactly. See? You're getting it. Lofi, what are vices? Those are just things you have, like, your enemies. Your enemies, but not actual physical enemies, but like things you have against? Am I wrong? Opposite of virtues? Oh. I was just thinking things you don't like, because someone asked me what my food vices are. Oh, your guilty pleasures. Never mind, I got it wrong. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, I'm trolling. Yeah, because like last month someone asked me what my food vices are, what my food vices are, and they explained to me. And it was guilty pleasure. I just forgot, because I never heard of that term until like last month. The dishonesty, gluttony, laziness. I describe as guilty pleasure, or when I learned it last month. Or just things that you feel guilty about, or know it's like wrong, or no, it's not right. I don't know. Vices that I have? I don't know. Because when they asked me what my food vices are, I just said none. I hate food. Oh no, it's gotta be Slim Jims. Me and my vices. Your vices is watching people die on the highway or on roads, I don't know. Hello Panda? It was only that one time, Lisa. And is it even that unhealthy? I mean... Unless they should get more. I mean, I can only find them at Asian supermarkets, and I rarely go to them. I don't have them at convenience stores. I think they do, but like really, they don't have bigger bags. I don't know. Playing 5 gacha games? Vices with their virtues, man? What the? I'm gonna lose it. Sleep at 5 a.m. Okay, you might be right. But like, it's not that bad, you know. Not vacuuming the house every week. I've been very lazy with that. My customers don't read. Ooh. Why are you making that me? That's you. You're the one who came here saying, watching a family of 3 die in classic. That's you, not me. Yeah, exactly. See, you're getting it. Akadi proceeded to sketch out the rest of the diagram, repeating the 1 day forward, 2 days back pattern a few more times, until she made it all the way back to 6 o'clock on April 1st. Then finish off with one last horizontal line from 4:16 p.m. to 4:26 p.m. So it's from here. Oh no, 4:1. So this is where we started. Then we're gonna go to 4:6, then back. Simple as that. Sometimes if you want to cry of frustration, ooh. Good luck. Don't put me with you. Don't group me with you. I am different from you. I am better than you. I'm kidding. What happens at 4:26 p.m.? Nothing, right? Because you have to wait till 4:03 to go back. Oh, you mean this? I assume nothing, because time will just progress as normal after back to 4:1. Time stops. You what? So virtuous. Yeah, that's a lucky draw. So yeah, Akadi said, setting the branch back down on the ground. This is what I meant when I said you'll be reliving the past 4 days in reverse order. We've been calling it the rollback phenomenon. Wait, rollback? I had a fairly good grasp of the process at this stage, at least in concept, but the more I heard Akadi explain, the harder it became to believe. Every question she answered only raised 2 or 3 more in my head. So, obviously, I have a lot of questions, I began. But I guess for starters, why 6 o'clock? More importantly, how would I get wrapped up in this weird phenomenon to begin with? I can't say for sure, but I was told it might have had something to do with you touching the stone inside that shrine. It just so happened to be at 6 o'clock. There's no special significance to the time, I don't think. Oh, right, the shrine. I totally forgotten about that, to be honest. I stood up and went to take another peek inside the little shrine on the other side of the big cherry blossom tree. The hefty rock with the crevice in the middle was still there, exactly where I remembered it being. It hadn't moved. But I don't get it, I said. How could touching a stupid rock cause all the supernatural stuff to start happening? I mean, even if it did have some sort of magical powers, let's say, this reliving each day in reverse stuff is way too specific. It doesn't add up. I mean, I don't think it would add up anyways. Well, this is my own personal theory, Akadi said, having walked over to stand beside me. But do you remember that time in elementary school when they took us on a field trip to the big shrine on the island to learn more about Tsushima's history? Oh yeah, I think I do remember that. It was sometime in 4th to 5th grade. They brought the entire class out to the Tsushima shrine and let the resident Shinto priest teach us for the day. And I still vividly remember how cold the wood floors they made us sit on were. Okay, so call me crazy, but didn't they mention something about how Buddhist monks used to make pilgrimages out to Tsushima in the olden days to undergo some sort of trial? Hi, crazy? Oh god, my voice. Oh, I've been reading too much. Only 14 more pages though, and I wonder if it's gonna be an interlude. Alright. Oh, so call me crazy. I'm almost done? I mean, this book has 360-ish pages, so not at all. That's why it took me like a month or 2 more months to finish this book. And it took us 2 days or 2 sessions to reach to not even 80 pages. Or not even like 96 pages 2 days. Probably it's more like 60 pages or 70 pages. That was a short one? I guess compared to the cat one, no, it's not short. Because the Tunnel to Summer wasn't short either. And oh my gosh, I don't know how I've been holding this book, but this is like banned. Oh no. Take you on your own time? Probably like 2 days or 1 day. I read this in 1 day. I read the book. I mean, that's how much free time I decided to dedicate to it, but I read the book that that Lisa not wanted me to read, but recommended. The what was it called again? I Had That Same Dream. Again. Lie down to read or sit. Well, that time I was reading on the bus, so it took me like 2 hours to read that. That's insane. Oh, I also read the other book in a day too, because we had no power. From the same writer as Under Your Pancreas. Oh, that's fast. I mean, I guess I read fast. I'm not sure. I like lying down. I may do both. I alternate between sitting and lying down, but I love lying down to read. But these days, usually I sit because I read on the bus. But yeah, it's the same author. If you didn't know, Fade, this is called "Wait for Me Yesterday in Spring," and the book that we're gonna read, or that we did read, was "The Tunnel to Summer." So they're all based on the theme of time, and they're all based on seasons, the theme of seasons. So this is spring, that one's summer. The next one that I already pre-ordered from the same author that's coming in next month has autumn in it. I forgot the name, but it's also related to time. It's 0 Second Journey. It's called 0 Second Journey. I forgot the first part though, with autumn. And it's gonna be about a guy and a girl, and time has frozen. And they're trying to figure out why time has frozen, and they're the only two that are not frozen in time. Oh, this one, what though? And I'm excited for that one. I love the cover for that one. That one looks so pretty. This one I wasn't that excited about, but I guess I didn't read the synopsis correctly because I didn't see the rollback part. And now I'm interested. I haven't read a physical book in ages. I mean, I haven't either before streaming. I mean, I have, but... Have I? Before streaming, have I? Oh no, I have. Before COVID, I did, because I volunteered at a bookstore and I read it during the bookstore. I was at the bookstore. And got hit with time travel? Yeah. I mean, the books are nice. Do you own... I don't think I own any physical manga, actually. I own one physical manga. But it was like when I was a kid. It's a kid manga. It's a manga for kids. Like kind of like Yatsuba type beat. I forgot what it's called. I have it though. It's about pet. It's like pet recycling. Like recycling pet bottles. And it's like these bottles that you would recycle, or cans, but they're like cartoon characters instead, and you talk about recycling. And it was really cute. I read one physical manga. I mean, I used to read physical manga, like just at the library. From manga by character who I borrowed it from. I see. I see you. I see you. I think I only wanted to pull on black and white manga back in the day. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, I did own... Do I have it? I think I... Shoot, do I have it or don't? I think I have the physical Pokemon Yellow manga. Now that you brought it up. I'm not sure if I do though. Or if I borrowed it from someone else and I give it back. Because they're all like in like the back of my room that I haven't touched in ages. I mean, I can just lie and just not show it to you. I drop mom for rejecting. Ooh. So your mom from local library? Same. I probably borrow like 40 plus Naruto manga from the library. I still remember borrowing the freaking Obito and Jiraiya scenes from the library and cried at home. Bags are heavy? Shoosh. It was mostly Bleach I see. It was definitely Naruto for me. And just random other manga maybe. I don't know. It was definitely just Naruto, I think. I don't remember anything else. Physical at least. Anyways. For me, I mainly other than that, it was mainly video games or PC games. Cause my library back then, I don't know. Unfortunately, they removed it now. I guess because people steal now. It was PC games back then. They had like Lego games, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Zoo Tycoon, and they were the bomb. My parents were very frugal. My family was very frugal back then. No. Does renting cost money at Blockbuster? Because if it did, then that's probably why. Why not? Or is it borrowing? Regardless, we didn't have a Blockbuster nearby. And the closest one was pretty far back then. Well, I mean, it wasn't far. Like, you could still drive to it. But the library was like a 10-minute walk. But yeah, no, my parents were super frugal back then, so they would rarely buy me games or whatever, so I got games from the library. Their songs vintage mood. But no, I don't think I've even been to I mean, I definitely know a Blockbuster nearby back then because I would always pass by it back then. Take me, Bertie. Dang, you just called old. That's crazy. Me seeing Faye take himself out. Oof, classic. Anyways, if y'all keep yapping, I'm not gonna finish this book and I'm gonna end stream like 5 a.m. Holy heck. Wait. Hey, don't I usually do that anyways? Oh, that was loud. Whoops. Classic Lofi stream. Oh lord. Average load. Do you stop that? Please, this should not be a classic. Anyways, let's continue reading. Man, I low-key want to stream the old games that I played back then, from that I borrowed from the library. I love playing Zoo Tycoon with the dinosaurs, building the exhibits for the dinosaurs, and then dropping all the civilians and the patrons of the zoo into the dinosaur exhibit and watch them suffer. Good times. They don't make that someone look like get out, Fade. Hey, you could borrow games from a library? Back then, yeah, not anymore. I don't remember what other games there were. No, the Zoo Tycoon was the most familiar though. I also played games on the library PC too, yeah, I did that too. For that period of time too, dang, Fade, you're old. People laugh, people point, people giggle. I haven't seen the library in years though, I see. Who knows, maybe other libraries still rent out video games or borrow video games. See a water fountain? What's that you mean? Okay, where were we? We're just on the rollback part, right? I had a fairly good grasp of the process at this stage. At least, I wonder if I flavored the watermelon. Oh my lord! Oh, that's why, because Faye doesn't drink water. I hope you get kidney stones, so big that they are stuck in your system forever. Wait, that's actually really... Unlike you, I'm advanced. Oh my gosh, ouch. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how bad kidney stones are, but I've heard like it's like the worst pain ever. So honestly, I'm sorry. I would never wish that on to someone, according to the horror stories I've heard. Kidney boulders, ooh, you're sick. What people die from? Who died? Apologize properly? I apologize for absolutely nothing. In fact, I apologize for the kidney stones instead, because I feel sorry for the kidney stones being in your system on your sorry. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was messed up. And watch this with me. Ooh. You know what? Let's just let bygones be bygones. I was gonna continue reading. You know, let's forget it. Truth. Okay. No. Is this your true self coming out? In the sense that that's how I joke around these days, yes. No, leave me alone. Alright. I had a fairly good blah blah blah. The harder it became to believe. Every question she answered only raised 2 or 3 more in my head. So, obviously, I have a lot of questions. Back to bed you go, I began. But I guess for starters, why 6 o'clock? No, more importantly, how did I get wrapped up in this weird phenomenon to begin with? I can't say for sure, but I was told it might have had something to do with you touching the stone. Wait, we read this. Well, this is my personal theory, Akari said, having walked over to stand beside me. So is Shima's history. Wait. Oh, is that where you left off? Do you remember that time in elementary school when they took out her up to a big surrounded island to their marble station? Okay, sure. Oh yeah, I think I do remember that. Thanks, Wander. It was sometime in 4th or 5th grade. They brought the entire class out to Solishima Shrine and let the... Wait, no, we read this too. Okay, so call me crazy, but then they... Okay, we read that too. I don't remember that at all, personally. But are you saying you think I might have accidentally brought some sort of ancient trowel upon myself? There we go. I mean, it's no crazier than any other explanation we've come up... Is it? Come up with? Is it? Alright, now this is getting ridiculous. And what the hell am I being tested on, huh? By who? It doesn't make any sense. For another thing, how do you know all of this, Akari? About the rollback and me touching the stone in the shrine? I never told anyone about that. So how could you know? What do you think, doofus? You told her. I could feel my tone getting more and more impatient as the questions kept piling up one after another. Like, the reason why Wonder's using the word brain damage right now is because the MC himself used the word brain damage in the book. So it's not Wonder being mean or whatever. It's because the main character said, "Man, do I have brain damage?" And I laughed at that because it reminded me of League of Legends players, because they would flame people and call people brain damage. So that's why I laughed, and yeah. Anyways. In the face of my frustration, Akari simply looked at me. gently with a hint of genuine sympathy in her eyes, as if I were the one in need of condolences here. I use dog water? Really? I mean, I use hot dog water. But that's because I find hot dog water really funny. Yeah, that's crazy. Use dog water. I mean, I would say it, but Eggy? Wow. I heard it from you, Kanai-kun, she said. From me? I balked. That's right. Everything I've told you here today, you've explained to me yourself, in a past you haven't experienced yet. Her words came out measured and slow, as if to make sure each and every syllable hit home. I closed my eyes, pinched the bridge of my nose, and let out a long, lingering sigh. Sorry, I need some time to think about all this. How much time do you even have? After all those exhausting mental gymnastics, I felt like I needed a cigarette. Classic. MC's me being surprised I could. Yes. And I never smoked before in my life. I tried my best to fully digest everything that Akari had told me. All of it was still hard to swallow. But I would need to take it one bite at a time. The rollback phenomenon, huh? I was familiar with the term, of course, since I learned it earlier today from one of my dad's old notebooks. It was obviously a computing term, but it felt oddly apt for the concept of being sent backwards to previous points in time. Akari claimed that I was the one that explained all of this to her, which presumably meant that I came up with a name for the phenomenon. There were still a lot of aspects to this that I couldn't completely wrap my head around, but now I finally felt like I'd done enough mental organizing to free up some of my brain's processing power. Sorry, I said, but I've gotta be honest. I'm having a lot of trouble coming to terms with the whole quantum leap idea and you claiming it was me who told you this stuff. On the other hand, I know you'd never lie about something like this, so I'm gonna try my best to take you at your word. Thanks. I really appreciate it, she smiled. Her warm expression reassured me. Man, talk about bad timing though. Am I right? That one week I'm back in town and we get sucked into some otherworldly bullcrap? Not to mention, you must be busy enough as it is. What, with your brother's funeral and everything? I trailed off, because at this exact moment, the final piece clicked into place inside my head. The rollback phenomenon, Akito's death. Think about it, Kanai. If you're already gonna be going back in time then, yo, you can go back in time and turn Akito over to save him from throwing up. Or choking on his own vomit. Poggers! Hey, Akari? I asked, remind me, when exactly did Akito pass away? Sometime between midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning on April 2nd. Is that how he died? Oh no, not exactly. He died from alcohol poisoning, but then they mentioned that people who usually die from alcohol poisoning is because they weren't laid down properly, and like they were laying down with their head face towards the ceiling, and they would choke on their own vomit. And whether that is actually what happened, they're not sure. That's what they explained though. Besides when I drink, yep. The only reason I know that was because of a manhwa back then. It's drown? You drown in your own vomit? I've always heard it as you choke on your own vomit. They also use the word choke too, so that's what I went off of as well. You can't choke on water? Because I choke on water all the time. We drowning? I see. Let's Google. Drown or choke on vomit, which is better? I'm sorry. I just got. Should I have let my guy friend choke on his vomit? Classic. Oh shit, I'm getting choking, hold up. Uncle drowning. I'm still gonna get choking when I'm putting drowning in it. There we go. The fourth result. In other words, there's a risk that person could drown their vomit. The danger on choking on vomit. Aspiration pneumonia. Which is better? That's actually kind of what I wrote. Why am I trying so hard on this? I guess I'm trying to be correct. Oh, where I was born? Ooh, unfortunate. Choke on your aspirations? What the heck? I guess the common term is just choking on your own vomit. Maybe medically it just means, medically it just aspiration pneumonia. Yeah, adult drowning deaths. AI overview, never mind. There we go. You know what? I'll just hit you with what Wonder said. They both make sense. I'm sure technically drowning for sure 100% makes sense. But choking is is what most plebs use. I'll probably use choking though, since that's what they use in this, in the book, or as whatever the book says. You're in the liquid. Should you sink in the, or in the sink? Anyways. Where are we? Sometime between midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning on April 2nd, she said matter-of-factly, as though she'd been anticipating that question. That was what the autopsy said. Autopsy said, at least. Autopsy. Yo, I don't know the enunciation of it. Oh my god, Yuchira. Shame on you. No. It was, should you water the sink or sink in the water? Okay, sometime between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. on the 2nd. Got it. Akari claimed I was going to relive everything from 6 p.m. on the 1st through 6 p.m. on the 5th. You want to see about 7 a.m.? No. We're 10 pages left. What time is it? No, we're good. Y'all do not distract me. Emphasis sounds off. Wonder, I'm gonna crush you. But that is more. But that's mainly because I'm unconfident in saying it, so I say it in like the with a question mark on it. And Akito's death fell within that period. And sometimes I don't see a period or a comma right after, so I was like, okay, whatever, and I just go with it. Assuming Akari wasn't wrong about any of this, that presented a very interesting possibility. Does that mean we could prevent Akito's death from ever happening? I asked. Sure does, she replied. Then she looked down at her feet for a moment, scrunching her face up pensively before looking back up to stare directly into my eyes. Kanai-kun, I want you to save my brother. Yep, brother. Her words were so crystal clear in their conviction that they knocked me off guard, and it put me in a bit of an awkward spot. Keep in mind that I was only half convinced that all this rollback stuff was even possible. Hell, maybe not even 20% convinced. It was hard to jump up right away and say, sure, I'll save your brother's life for you, when I still had so many unanswered questions. But then I couldn't bring myself to say too, no, either, whether any of this was true or not. I couldn't leave Akari in the lurch during her time of need. I had to believe in the sincerity I saw in her face. Alright, I'll do whatever I can, I said at last. Akari nodded emphatically. Okay, so I told you the approximate time of death, between midnight and 2 a.m. on the 2nd. He died of alcohol poisoning, and his body was found in the empty lot behind the old tobacco shop. There was only one tobacco shop in all of Soreshima. It was a small, seedy place down a narrow side street, and I knew exactly where it was. What was Akito doing there? Do you know? I asked. The police thought he might have been, relieving himself in the empty lot. Classic. They found some traces in the vicinity that supported that theory, I guess. Fry ruined that emo for me. Well, that must have been an uncomfortable question for her to have to answer. I felt kind of bad for asking. Still. Wait. I know I talked about should you in the sink or in the sink, or sink in the... But I didn't think it was actually... let's keep reading. I felt kind of bad for asking. Still, if she was right about all this rollback stuff, then saving Akito's life shouldn't be very hard at all. All I need to do was make sure he didn't drink any alcohol that day. Hey, even if I couldn't do that, I knew exactly where he would be and when. Now that I thought about it, I never actually repaid the favor to him for saving me from those bullies back in the day. Okay, it's just the image of him going back in time to stop him from relieving himself is really absurd. Wonder no. Which made this the perfect opportunity to do so. Right now, I was the only one who could save Akito's life. It's so weird that this is like the climax of the thing. The climax of the story. Climax? Ayo? Relieving? Ayo? Okay, I need to stop. Because what is going to happen between this and Akito's, before Akito's death? Like, what are they even going to do? For Amloaf? I'm going to finish before 5 a.m. Believe it. Finger Loaf? I have no idea where the story is going. Because that part won't... This part won't happen until the very last chapter. Because they're going back... Because time is progressing backwards. So they're just waiting for Akio to be alive again. So he's just going to be dead for the next... For yesterday. For the next... Or the past 4 days, so I don't know. Or 32 days, I don't know. Akari said as she looked... Okay, Kanai-kun. Kun, it's almost time. Akari said as she looked down at her phone. I followed suit and checked my own. It was 5:57. If Akari was right, the next rollback would occur in 3 short minutes. Let's see. So he said I'm going to be sent back to 6 o'clock on April 4th next. Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty sure. I don't know what you want me to say, Kanai-kun. I don't have any proof of this stuff. I only know what you've told me yourself, like I said. How did he figure this out though? Right. Well, fair enough. I relented. I could tell that hounding her about it wouldn't do either of us any good. Maybe he experienced it himself and told her in the past and this is a loop. I don't even know, man. I can tell you right now, though, that the rollback do occur. Or at least you're giving me more than enough reason to believe they do. Yeah, I feel like it is a time loop because now she's saying, like, it's proven, I guess. Akari said. Her voice was as earnest as could be. Just then, the wind picked up. A few anxious moments later, it sent a cloud of cherry blossom petals spiraling through the sky. Like a kaleidoscope of tiny butterflies, the swirling pattern of pastel pink blossoms shone beautifully against the amber evening skies. There was no doubt about it. These had to be the most gorgeous blossoms on the entire island. I stood there for a while gazing up at them in a state of zen, until I heard what sounded like sobbing beside me. I turned to look and saw Akari covering her face with her hands, her shoulders quivering. The sound of soft weeping leaked out from between her fingers. It didn't sound like she was crying. She was crying, and this time it was plainly evident that there were no pollen allergy tears. Akari? You alright? Is something wrong? I don't want to do that. No, I just... What's gotten into you all of a sudden? And yet, before I had a chance to learn the reason for her tears, we were interrupted by the 6 o'clock chime. The sorrowful starting notes of green sleeves announced to us both that the time had come and my anxiety accelerated. Listen, Kanai-kun, Akari said, practically choking the words out as she lifted her disheveled, tear-drenched face to look unflinchingly into mine. I trust your judgment, so please, take care of past me, okay? The rest is up to... Man, I should probably play Green Sleeve's lo-fi version or something. Alright, so just a few more pages, right? Yep. Yeah, we can just do this. Just like 5 or 6 more pages. Interlude 2. All my memories of Kanai from our elementary school days were still vivid in my mind. So vivid that every time I looked back on them, it was like flipping through the pages of a beautifully illustrated children's book. Like, for example, this one interaction we had back in the 3rd grade on our way back home from school. It was a cool July afternoon, and we were sitting on the seawall like we always did. Whiling away the hours, we would often sit there talking until the sun went down, usually about... wait, what? Oh, we would often sit there talking, okay, usually about utterly trivial things. A stray cat someone found near the shrine, a classmate of ours who struck his handheld game console into class, snuck. A book that one of us had borrowed from the library on that particular day. Though I specifically remembered Kanai gushing to me about something of actual import. Hey, so guess what? He grinned. A bunch of junior high kids tried to gang up on me the other day, but then your brother came out of nowhere and scared them off. Well, really? Yeah. Yep, he was so cool, I'm telling ya. Can't believe he knows how to fight and he's good at baseball. Wish I could be like him someday. You do, huh? I never liked my older brother very much, mainly because he was always picking on me. But even I had to admit that what Kanai claimed he did was pretty cool. In fact, I was generally proud of him for sticking up for the defenseless like that. Man, if only I had something I was the best at, Kanai mused. I think you're fine the way you are, Kanai-kun. What? Seriously? I feel like I should at least find some kind of sport or special talent I can show off to people. But what? He said, thinking aloud to himself before turning to face me. You're so lucky. Akari, you're already a really good swimmer. I'm not that good at swimming. Sure you are. Heck, you didn't get the fastest time out of our entire class the other day? That takes talent, right? Give yourself a little more credit. Yeah, maybe. It was true that I was a pretty good swimmer, but I never liked pool days all that much, since they meant showing more of my unconventionally pigmented skin than I had to already. But hearing Kanai speak so highly of my skills made me really happy, and it was at that point that I decided I was going to start taking swimming more seriously. Summer vacation rolled around, and I opted to sign up for a more advanced swim class. that the school pool offered. The lessons were a lot harder than I expected going in, but they made an obvious improvement to my lap times. On the last day of summer vacation, my swim instructor came up to me and suggested I consider enrolling in more formal swimming lessons at a big aquatic center over on the mainland. He was adamant about the amount of potential he saw in me and insisted that I should at least talk to my family about it. Mind you, I'd always fantasized about being able to take lessons at a huge indoor facility like that. Such a huge pool felt almost mandatory if you wanted enough space to swim your heart out. And I was sure that lying on your back in the middle of a vast pool of crystal clear water felt sublime. But I'd pretty much given up on the idea, figuring it was impossible given our means. I already knew, even at that young age, that my family's finances were pretty abysmal. My mother supported my brother and I on her own ever since my father died in a car crash when I was 5. Don't say it. During the day, she worked at the register at the supermarket, and at night she mixed drinks at a local hostess bar. When I was really little, I pretty much convinced myself that my mother was some sort of superhuman that had evolved beyond the need for help. That was how she worked, day in and day out. To this day, I had no idea how or when she snuck in enough time to sleep. Needless to say, I didn't want to put even more stress on my mom's plate, so I opted not to ask her about the whole formal swimming lesson proposition at all. Or that was the plan. Anyway, until my instructor brought it up on parent-teacher conference night. "I really think your daughter's got talent, ma'am," he said. "I think it'd be a travesty not to enroll her in more formal training." My mother was a polite person who was quick to cave under pressure, so she immediately agreed to his proposal. And before long, I was enrolled in legit swimming lessons. Could I have still pumped the brakes at this point? Absolutely. All I had to do was say I was getting sick and tired of swimming, or that I wasn't comfortable taking the ferry over to the mainland by myself. But I didn't, which says a lot about how much I really cared about not overburdening my mother. As soon as it looked like it might actually happen, I shut up real quick. To be fair to myself, I worked myself to the bone when my lessons began, training as hard as I possibly could as to not let the tuition fees and ferry ticket costs go to waste. Not the gaslighting. I think it's more so peer pressure than gaslighting. As a result of this, I became such a good swimmer that by 6th grade I came in first place at the big annual district swim meet. I was honored for this achievement at the next school assembly, and it was at that point that the other kids at my grade started paying a lot more attention to me, with some even wanting to be my friends. Well, that was the case for me. I got honored for winning chess tournaments, but everyone was like, "Ha, nerd." Sorry. I have grudges. I'm salty. Since athletic ability is pretty much the only thing that determines a kid's popularity in elementary school, I soon became the most popular kid in class. No one dared make fun of me for my appearance anymore. This felt so good that I completely forgot the guilt I once felt for putting additional financial strain on my mom, and I started living my life to the fullest without a care in the world. Everywhere I went, people showered me with praise, but the words that meant the most and gave me the strength to keep pushing myself even harder came from Kanai. We were the chess champ, not champ. I mean, I won chess tournaments, but like, they were among kids, so they didn't really mean much. "Man, Akadi, you're on fire lately," he said on our way home from school one day. "See, I always knew you had it in you. I could tell you were destined for greatness way before anyone else realized what a good swimmer you are." Ichira, it's too late. Go back to your ROTC stuff or whatever. "Oh yeah? You know all along, huh?" I teased. "Yep. Guess I just got an eye for these things," he boasted. "Wowee. You should be a talent scout or something." Hey, don't be sarcastic with me. I giggled to myself. He caught me red-handed, in all seriousness. Though I really was grateful to Kanai. If he hadn't spoken so highly of my abilities that day in 3rd grade, I might not have ever started taking swimming seriously like this. Does he know? Thanks for everything, Kanai-kun, I said in a meek and quiet voice. The heck? Where'd that come from? You always paid attention to me, even when no one else would. It really means a lot. That's crazy, Fade. My VTuber's not up, so... so I don't have the Sammy core thing activated, so the bot isn't activated. Or at least the bot for that thing specifically. Fade exposed right in the act. Oh, that's what you mean by does you know? Oh, okay. Okay, Fade, I'm betting you. Alright, at this, Kanai dropped the... What is this word? Braggadocious? Wait, I need to search this up. I don't even know what it means. I assume it just means boastful or something. It does mean boastful. Wait, I got it right. I one-shot at it. It's braggadocious. At this, Kanai dropped the braggadocious act and started downplaying it. Saying things like, nah, I didn't have anything to do with it. As his face went beet red, in that moment, I really felt like I was the happiest girl alive. If I could have sold my soul to make sure those days would never end, I would have done so in a heartbeat.